guys, welcome. I hope you're having a great day so far. I feel a little bit more chipper this morning because I did get to have my coffee. I didn't want to use the letters or the numbers today. Not sure why, I just felt like I needed to set those aside. So we're just going to go with our Oracle cards and our Tarot cards, and we'll see what message comes forward for the general collective. See what we have. Unfinished Symphony, Message in a Bottle, and Soulmates. So I do feel like we are going to be speaking about relationships in this read. This doesn't necessarily mean romance. Soulmates can come in all shapes and forms. Sometimes it's a family member, sometimes it's a friend. It's just people who we feel a very special connection with in our life. It's interesting. Message in a bottle. I think somebody's going to be reaching out to someone else. I think you're about to get somebody reaching out to you. Somebody who has something that it's like they didn't get a chance to say. This is this unfinished symphony. It's something left unsaid, and it's something that somebody would like to be able to tell you. I do feel like they are going to be reaching out, but I want to know, who this person is, what's been going on. We have round and round here and now. I feel like somebody's been spinning this around in their head for a while. Like, I don't know what happened between the two of you or how you've parted ways, or if it's just maybe like an old friend or somebody that you lost touch with. But I feel like somebody has very much been thinking about you lately, has been thinking about the time that the two of you shared. And there's still something they need to say to you, and it's like they can't move forward or move on with their life until, this happens. Because we have this here and now card. We have this figure who sort of sits in the middle of the past and the future. And it's like just sitting in the center, I feel like somebody feels stuck until they deal with this, until they say whatever it is they need to say. This might be an apology because we do have the mending card here. It's like until this comes forward, somebody can't move forward. Interesting. I want to know where that Imagine card sits too. So we're gonna grab a few more, because usually it sort of represents that need to be able to imagine. Oh, that would make a lot of sense. See, as I get going, then it makes sense to me. It's like this person has been mulling this over in their mind, and I think they've been afraid about how this is going to go. I think they've wanted to reach out to you for quite some time now. I think it's taken quite a while for them to actually get to the point where they do reach out, because I think they're afraid of how it's going to go. Like, maybe things ended in a negative way, whether this was, a romantic relationship or a friendship or with a family member. But it definitely left hard feelings, and I feel like they're afraid to be the one to reach out. I feel like they eventually will. Like, this will come to pass. They will reach out, but they've been mulling this over for a good long while. It's taken a lot to be able to actually reach that olive branch out observer. I think they've been watching you. They've been keeping an eye on you, and not in a creepy way. I don't get a creepy vibe from this read. At least not yet, I don't. I feel like somebody's like picking their moment, trying to pick their moment. The Fates. That's an interesting card, because I'm actually getting told with this Fates card that this is part of this person's universal life path, that they need to come back and mend. They need to learn the skill of coming back and confronting things that happened in the past, being able to take responsibility for their actions, being able to mend fences, even with whatever this is. If all this is they come back and they're able to make this apology, so that the two of you can then again part ways, but with nothing left unsaid. Even if that's all it is, this is actually a skill that they're supposed to learn. This is the reason, most likely, that you came into their life and that everything happened the way it did, is that this is about them and them learning a life lesson, and you're actually meant to help them do that. No place like home. Interesting. I'm going to pull a couple more before I tackle that. I'm starting to get a vibe, but I just want to keep going here. I do believe the two of you lived together at some point, and this person did step away. This person most definitely stepped away from you. Interesting. Breathe. Never-ending story. I feel like once they stepped away from you, things did not go very good for them. I feel like part of the journey and why you came into this person's life, or why you were in this person's life, was to teach them not only the skill of sort of, I think it's swallowing their pride and being able to communicate their feelings, but I also think you tried to help them in learning other life lessons too. and helping them to grow and helping them to develop. I don't think they were ready to hear it at that point. And I do feel like that is part of why things went the way they did. Maybe they said something about, oh, you were being bossy or trying to control them, or the way that they were living their life, when that's not what it was. It's like you had this different perspective on the choices that they were making, and you could see that it was going to create a negative impact, or was already creating a negative impact for them. And because you cared for them, you tried to help them change that. You wanted them to be happy. You wanted them to be successful. You tried to help. And it's like you got burned for it, because they just weren't ready to hear it. They weren't in a place where they were ready to take that step in their evolution. And that's why this parting ways happened. But I do feel like they learned some hard lessons since then, whoever this person is, because they are like this orphaned character. They're like this sense of feeling alone, this sense of trying to find where they fit in the world. So they had to learn this for themselves to start building themselves up, as if we're all on our own journeys. Even though sometimes we take them together, there's still that the core of our journey is still us. It's still up to us whether we learn our lessons, whether we evolve, whether we heal, whether we grow. And I feel like this is the same thing. This person just had to do this in their own way. They had to learn these lessons in their own way. Interesting. Building blocks came flying out. I think this is building blocks for whoever this person is. This person who's going to come back and try and make amends. It's like they had to figure it out this way, to be able to gain the skills to set the foundation for the rest of their life. Because that's what they're doing. I don't care how old this person is, because we learn these skills at all different ages. So it doesn't matter if you're young, it doesn't matter if you're middle-aged, it doesn't matter if you're older. We all take our own journeys, and I feel like this person is learning those base skills now. Higher power and chop wood. Interesting. That higher power tells me there is something bigger at play. There is something bigger involved here. And this chop wood tells me that you did everything that you could do to help this person. You put in all the time, you put in all the effort, you put in everything that you possibly could. You gave and gave and gave. It's not up to you anymore. This person has to take their journey on their own. They had to learn their lessons on their own, and they will come back when they've built up the courage to do so. Because I do think it's going to take a lot of courage. I can actually feel the anxiety that they feel when they think about reaching out to you. It's pretty overwhelming. But I feel like there will come a time when they can overcome that. I do feel like this is part of their journey. Like I said, I don't know. I still can't tell if this is a romantic relationship, a family relationship, a friend relationship. Interesting. We got regeneration here. This person is going through some sort of a rebirth, some sort of a transformation, some sort of a change. We also had To Be Fair. Now, this card came out for whatever reason in reverse. To be fair. So I do feel like this person is struggling to find balance. This person is struggling to find stability, feeling a little lost. Again, just like that orphan card, trying to figure out where they fit in the world, trying to figure out where they belong. Figure out maybe what their purpose is and who is supposed to be in their life. I do feel like they feel like you were a big part of their life, though. Like, there's lots of regrets about what happened and how things played out and how they behaved towards you. I feel like there's a fresh perspective on what your intentions were in the relationship and trying to help them, and they see that now. They didn't see it at the time because I think they were too big in their ego. They weren't in that place in their universal life path where they had kind of matured to the point where they could see that. But I feel like these things have changed. They've had to learn some lessons the hard way, but it's brought about a new perspective. It's brought about growth. It's brought about evolution for whoever this is. Oh, a couple cards that didn't even want to stay there. So those are the ones we're going to play first. Interesting. Two of Swords, indecision. I know this person is struggling with reaching out to you. I know they think it's absolutely scary. We have the High Priestess and the Emperor here. I do feel like the Emperor is speaking to whoever this person is. It can represent somebody who's an Aries or somebody who has sort of a big ego. But I'm going to tell you what I feel that it's speaking to in this read, what my guides are telling me. That this is actually this person's time to come into this Emperor energy. This card is representing their time of evolution, their time of ascension, their time of growth. And the High Priestess is like this higher power. It just reiterates to me that there's something much bigger at play. that the two of you were brought together in life for a reason. And that reason was for this person to learn lessons. You were supposed to teach them. And it may have not felt like it happened, but it did. It just happened in sort of a weird roundabout way that took a little bit of extra time. But I do feel like you've taught the lessons. This person is starting to learn them. They tend to be very fiery though. Impulsive too. They might have a bit of a temper. This person might react a lot without thinking. They might also sort of move from one thing to the next with this Knight of Wands, because that is part of his impulsiveness. So this might involve jobs, this might involve living situations, it might involve other kinds of relationships and sort of bouncing from one thing to the next whenever conflict arises, not really knowing how to deal with it, and so just sort of uprooting and fucking off and going somewhere else. The Six of Cups, it's a pattern for this person. That's where our round and round comes in too. It's not just that this person's been sitting and stewing on this for a while. I do feel like they live in this impulsive kind of cycle with a hot temper, with being very reactive instead of thinking about it. It is because they were in this very immature energy and just needed to be able to grow. The Wheel of Fortune, interesting. I do see this wheel changing. I do see it turning, but I see it turning slowly and in a positive way, and it is because this person is starting to do the work. But I'm being told their journey is going to be long. They are taking those steps. They are starting on the path to ascension, but it is going to be an ongoing journey for this person. The Three of Pentacles, that's interesting. And the Page of Cups, this is speaking to what you brought to their life, and it might not seem like it now because they haven't reached out. It might have seemed like, it all kind of went to shit. All your effort was for nothing or whatever. This person never really fucking got it. They did, but it took them a long time, and it took parting ways with you and going through a bunch of rough shit because of their own choices for them to be able to see it. But your time together was very meaningful to this person. It was very helpful as well. The Fool card, it helped to change their perspective. Like I said, it took time though. It took a lot of time, and this person had to learn some hard shit for themselves. And sometimes, let's face it, guys, sometimes that's how we have to learn. I know I fucking learned some shit like that too. Someone tries to tell me and tries to warn me, but no, I'm stubborn and I'm pig-headed and I'm gonna fucking do it anyways. And then I learned the hard way. So this person is not alone in their journey. There's others of us that have been through things like this too. The Knight of Cups. But I do feel like they want to come back and make amends. I do feel like they want to come back. They want to apologize. I have this very distinct impression that somebody will be admitting to not listening, to not appreciating what you were trying to do for them and what you were trying to tell them. I also feel this taking responsibility, and it's almost like I was stupid. That is the words that I'm hearing. It's like, I was stupid. I should have just listened. I was stupid. I think this is part of what you're going to be hearing. That wishful. This is interesting. So I got the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So you got this wish fulfillment with this Queen of Cups on this Two of Cups. I think this is something you've been wanting to hear for a long time. This is something that's been bothering you too. However, this ended with this person, with this Emperor over here, or Knight of Wands, who's moving into an Emperor energy. This has been bothering you. You've been wanting an apology. You've been wanting some closure on this too. You might have sort of moved forward and moved on, but I do feel like this piece has never completely closed for you either. So I do feel like for you on some level, this will be a bit of wish fulfillment to be able to make amends in some way. The Eight of Cups, that moving on and moving forward. The Three of Cups, interesting, with happiness, celebration, camaraderie. Depending on what this relationship is with this person, if this is, family, if this is friendship, there might be room here for a new chapter and a fresh start to come back together and to reconcile. If this is romance, I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. This is going to be up to you. Like I said, this person is starting to understand shit. They're starting to ascend, but this is a process and this is a journey, right? This is not going to be a overnight change. Now they're an emperor. They went from a knight to an emperor, overnight. That's not how it works. It takes time. Sometimes it takes a lot of years to go through this. But this person is taking some very big, important first steps, especially when they take that opportunity and actually do reach out to you and have that conversation. The Six of Pentacles. Even give and take, but also generosity. And it does go along with the Star card. I do see mending here. Like I said, I see mending. This read is not going to resonate for all of you. I know that. I know that this is, this will be speaking to probably a very specific situation with somebody out there. So it's not going to speak to every single one of you. But I do feel a mending going on here. I do feel the potential for a mending. The Queen of Pentacles. And I feel like this is your energy. Is this nurturing, trying to nurture, trying to help grow. And you also offered a level of stability to this person that because of their nature, they couldn't find on their own. And this is partly why once they stepped away from your energy, everything kind of just absolutely went to shit for them. Is because they don't have this underlying stability. They never learned how to do it for themselves. But these first steps that they're taking towards ascension is part of how they're going to be able to find that stability as well. The Tower card, interesting. I took a tower with you for this person to learn this lesson, for them to learn that they were behaving like a page, like an impulsive knight, that they needed to grow, they needed to change, they needed to develop. The Four of Swords, healing, taking time to heal. Interesting. And we have the King of Wands here too, but we have him next to the Moon card. I do feel, again, like this is speaking to whoever this person is, because this King of Wands as well can have a bit of a temper. He can also be impulsive and say shit without thinking, do shit without thinking. I feel like he's starting to dive into that. Why do I do that? Why do I behave this way? It always turns out shitty for me when I do it. So why am I doing it? I feel like he's starting to ask the right questions. He's starting to recognize that not only is this a thing, but it's a negative thing in his life, which is freaking huge, right? Because you, like Dr. Phil says, you can't change what you don't acknowledge. Well, whoever this person is, this person has now acknowledged it, which is the first step to be able to change it. I do feel like they want that to change. We do have judgment. I feel like they're like, I don't want to live like this anymore. It holds me back. It holds me back from having emotional connections with people. It's like I need to learn to control my emotions. I need to learn to control my impulsiveness. Because that King of Cups, he can be all about emotions. Sometimes he could be really broody too. And he doesn't really know how to express himself. The Ten of Cups, Two of Wands, it keeps him from having fruitful partnerships. It keeps him from having that abundance in the personal life because he's always sort of like ditching at the first sign of trouble, or his temper is causing him trouble, which is causing him to sort of leap ship and start somewhere new. It's like he can never get that stability. He can never get his feet under him. And I do feel like it was something, like I said, you offered it. I feel like you stuck by this person through... probably quite a while, quite a few ins and outs, probably quite a few different jobs, and some temper tantrums and all sorts of things, hoping that they would be able to see the light and get their shit together until it just didn't work for you anymore. Justice card, the Hanging Man. I'm going to tell you too, I know this person, once they parted ways with you, went through some rough shit of their own making. It was their temper and all this shit that got them into it. There might have been involvement with the law here. Might have. I do see in the Hanging Man, though, whatever it was, they did it to themselves. They were the ones who put themselves in that situation. They were the ones who caused that to happen. The Page of Wands and the King of Swords, they want to communicate a truth to you. Absolutely. They want to communicate a truth to you. And the truth is that they're doing the hard work to learn their lessons. They recognize you tried to help them. They recognize that they pushed you away with their behavior. And they recognize that all this shitty stuff that happens to them, they did it to themselves. It's hugely important. As again, the Star card, Eight of Wands, communication, as like they're finally understanding. This person is finally coming to an understanding of what's going on in their life, of sort of their behavior affecting everyone and everything around them, and kind of like they made their own bed, right? This person is determined to make peace with you. They are determined to take responsibility. Five of Wands, Six of Wands, they recognize that they caused a lot of drama in your life. They caused, I think, I'm being told that this person is going to say something like they recognize that they cause a lot of drama wherever they go. I don't think they're going to say it with exactly those words, but this is what I'm being told. Like, everywhere I go, I create shit, or I create a shitstorm or drama or whatever it is, or chaos. I do feel like this is part of what they're going to tell you when they step forward. We also have the Strength card. Interesting. And all these cards, this is what I just keep seeing. Taking responsibility. Taking responsibility. Perhaps confronting some of their demons from the past. Something they're going through. Trying to figure out why they can be so self-destructive. Why they're so angry. Why they're so impulsive. They just want to make things right. They absolutely want to make things right. This stuff that happened with you has been weighing very heavy on this person. Very heavy since they went through all of this nasty stuff. I think at first they were just angry. They sort of like stormed away and they were just kind of pissy for a long time. But as everything sort of slowly changed for them and they learned those lessons the hard way, it gave them an absolutely new perspective on what they went through with you and what you meant to them. It's very interesting. We have the World card here and the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is where they're at. This is this rough time. It might be speaking to finances. It might be speaking to, involvement with the law. It's all the hard shit that they've gone through. They've put themselves in a pretty crappy spot. When they come to you, this person's not going to be, living their best life. This person's going to be trying to rebuild. Well, I don't even know that it's rebuilding. It'll probably just be building. They're in the process of it. But they're going to recognize they put themselves in that situation. They're also going to recognize, I'm being told, that they are responsible for getting themselves out of that situation too, which is huge because not everybody gets that. Even when they go through the rough times, not everybody gets that. I do feel like this is also your chance to be able to speak your truth to this person. So don't be afraid to do so. Don't be afraid. This is like a time of clearing the air. This is a time of sort of letting it all go on both sides, being able to understand how everybody felt in the situation, being able to release any anxiety, any hurts from the past, so that there can be this, if this is, a fresh start forward, whether your paths sort of go together from that point on and it's someone you're willing to sort of give a second chance to in your life and welcome back into your life, or whether your paths stay separate, I still feel like things need to get said so that healing can happen. Like, this person needs it. They need to get it off their chest so that they can feel like they're making things right with you. And anything that you don't feel like you got a chance to say, I feel like this is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to say it so that you can get closure on this chapter too. Because I think it brought a whole lot of hurt all the way around. All right, I'm going to grab a tarot token. And this is going to kind of be like your energy card for the read. So we'll grab one of these guys. And then we will flip it over. So we'll see what it is. So we do have the Sun. The Sun token. That's a great one to get, guys. That is like blessings. Blessings, positivity, sunshine. I do feel like this is, even if the two of you don't continue a path together, this healing is still necessary for each of you. And will have nothing but a positive effect on both of your lives. Alrighty, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that read. If you did, please hit that like, that subscribe. It definitely helps the channel out. Have a great day, everyone.